So if you have been wanting to find your life purpose, you have come to the right place. Hi, I'm Erin Werley and I channel God. So I have a beautiful client who um, essentially she's at a crossroads in her life because she was going to college, everything was going well, she felt good about it, and then one day she just knew without a shadow of a doubt she had to stop that path. It was such a feeling of being out of alignment that she literally could not force herself to continue on that path. And first of all, I was like, that is amazing, because 99% of people will continue on a daily basis to force themselves to go to a job, to go to school when it's completely out of alignment. It's killing their soul, and they are being pushed so hard by the universe to listen and to stop because they're leaving their life path. And so she's already winning because she said, no, I can't keep forcing myself to live out of alignment. It, for me, took years to get to the point where all of this bitterness built up, where I'm like, okay, finally, I'm leaving this path of perceived safety, because it's making me so bitter, so miserable. I am going to go forge a new path. Now, the scary thing about this, and the reason that most people, 99% of people, avoid it, is because you're literally leaping into the unknown with no safety net at all, and you have no idea where you're going. All you know for sure is that you cannot continue living the way that you were living. So for me, that looked like going to work as an RN in a hospital every day. It looked like doing the things that I learned in school to do, that I planned out to do, so that I could pay my mortgage, so that I could buy groceries, all of these things that I thought the only way to pay my mortgage and to get groceries and all these things were to keep doing the thing that I went to school to learn. And when I stopped that, it was literally like, okay, all right, I'm doing this, but I'm terrified because I don't know what comes next. Now, here is when we have to release the ego about who we think we should be, because our entire lives, we have built ourselves up to be a certain person. Okay. For me, that looked like, I'm an RN. I wear an RN's badge. I went to school for this. I'm well educated. I'm a professional. I am respected. People respect me when I say that I'm an RN, right? I had all of these ego identities built up around what I had chosen to do professionally. Now, the truth is, we are all infinitely worthy. We are all God. We are all one. So we don't have to do anything specifically professionally to have a deep worth to the universe. But based on our society, especially society in the West, our identity and worth are so tied into what we do to make money. This is not how it should be, but for most people, this is how it is. And I had to step away from that completely. And it was literally like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. And I was so afraid when I decided to quit my job and pursue where I knew I was being led, but I couldn't see it clearly at the time. It was very hazy. I was so nervous. I didn't want my parents to know. I didn't want anyone to know that I was essentially like jumping off the deep end with no safety net. I was so afraid of the judgment of others, right? That why would a person go from a respected profession into the unknown? What it sounds almost, from the perspective I'm looking at it from right now, that person must be mentally unstable, right? Actually, no, that person's just incredibly in tune with their emotional compass within, and also with their sense of alignment. Am I aligned right now? Am I not in line? They're energetically in tune. They're mentally in tune. And even if they don't understand what's going on, they are not willing to live out of alignment anymore, which is a beautiful, beautiful gift. And these are the people that end up changing the world, but not all of them will. Because some people, a lot of people, will actually end up floundering and not follow where they are being guided. Then after they leave the thing that was out of alignment, they'll say, I don't know where I go next. And they might end up doing, minimum wage jobs and things that keep them frustrated, keep them bitter. But listen, so for this client, when she brought this to me, I can't do school anymore. I just can't. I don't know what I'm going to do. She told me the thing that she was doing. And it was something very mystic and esoterical. She's like, I feel like I'm having this crisis. I've been doing this thing. And it's been really, really healing the last few days. It's a spiritual practice, right? She's been doing it. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, that's where she's being led. In the middle of this essentially identity crisis, she is being guided by the universe to what feels best for her. And she's spending a lot of her day doing this. And I can see as she's speaking, I see images of her in the future flashing forward. And she's doing this spiritual practice on social media. She's putting it out to the world. And she's also talking about this choice to step away from college. She's talking about this choice to change her identity, and she's building a huge community. And I see it all happening. And as I say this, I'm getting chills. I see it all happening for her. And I tell her what I see. And she says, oh my gosh, that's really funny because so many people in my life have told me I should do this specific thing that I'm saying. And that she just mentioned, right? That she's been doing as a healing practice for herself the last few days. But I would be so depressed if that was my life purpose. That can't be my life purpose. My life purpose must be bigger than this. It can't be that. Now, the reason she feels that way, and I felt a similar way when I was called to bring my book forward, when I was called to start speaking about spiritual topics. It felt to me like a few things. Like one, everyone had already done all the spiritual topics, so what could I possibly add? I couldn't be here to change the world. This isn't a big enough thing. But the truth of the matter is that we all have our own individual aspect and mission to bring forward in whatever it is we're called to do. And the other thing is that we are caught up in the idea of others judging us. That's such deep programming that we have to pick something that will be respected as our life purpose. Otherwise, we will be judged. And it's another form of protection of our ego trying to keep us safe. But we need to trust what feels good to us emotionally and understand that as that's a healing process for us and feels good for us, we are literally being called to bring it forward and show more people that this could be healing for them, for what they're going through. So she's literally being called to take people that feel unaligned in college like she does and show them a deep healing practice that can help them walk through stepping into the unknown and finding what they're actually here to do. And it doesn't mean that this one thing is going to be the be all end all for her, but it's what she's being called to right now. And by following those nudges of what feels healing for you, it's going to bring you to bigger and greater things than you could possibly imagine. But when we're so caught up in our past identity, we often can't see it. So we have to literally step back and say, well, if it wasn't me, if it was a friend that I loved, what would I tell them to do? Because the funny thing is we'll often give our friends the best advice, an advice from unconditional love and belief in their abilities to do amazing things. But then when we look at ourselves, we'll say, well, I don't think that you could do anything with this. There's other people already doing it better. I don't know if you're good enough. That's how we talk to ourselves in general until we do some deep, deep healing. But the fact of the matter is that you deserve to spend your life doing something that feels good to you. And when something feels good to you, it's an indication you're meant to share that with others. And the funny thing is, there's a lot of people out there doing big things in this world, sharing from that place. And that can be you too. You just have to follow what feels good to you, what feels deeply healing, satisfying. And so often we say things like, well, this is very good for me personally, but I would never share it. It's not the sort of thing you share with other people, because the truth of the matter is some of those people are going to judge you. They're going to judge you real hard. That's what keeps 99% of people away from their life purpose, is the fear of others judging them. It does not matter how exalted the profession that you choose is, how respected it is. There will be people that judge you. Look at doctors, for example. Most people would agree that being a doctor is a very impressive profession. But there is no doctor in the world that is not judged by the people around them. Not all the people. A lot of the people say, thank you so much for helping me. But so many people judge those doctors. There is no real estate investor. There's a lot of people that think that's really cool, love to do it. And then there's a lot of people that judge them. Billionaires they're doing big things in the world, some good, some bad, but they get a lot of judgment. Okay. Scientists that are making big changes, they get a lot of judgment. There is no profession, no matter how exalted, that will not come with being judged. So the choice you have in front of you is, do you want to do something that makes you feel good? Or do you want to do something from a place of trying not to get anyone upset with you ever for the rest of your life? This is something that has been quite a learning curve on my path. I am highly sensitive. And so when people started judging me, when I first started putting myself out here on the internet, it was so hard for me to walk through. It broke my heart. I would cry. I would feel like I should just hide. I should change everything. And the first time it happened, it took me weeks to move through that. And slowly but surely, I got better at moving through it. And now I'm at the point where, and it took me about 3 years to get there. And sometimes I would hide for a few weeks. Sometimes I needed a break. But now I'm at the point where someone can say something very hurtful to me, and I just say to myself, sending them love, and I just move on. I either delete it, I move it out of my awareness, and I move on. Because I understand that the more people that are judging me means the more people that are actually finding healing through my words, through my energy, the bigger impact I'm making on the world. If we want to impact the world, we have to be willing to trigger others, to tell others things that will change the way they think and understand about certain topics. And that will take the people that are aligned with you, and it's going to have them be like, yes, 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 finally someone is speaking the things I've been saying. Or I'm so grateful that person said that, because I was almost there. I was so close to fully understanding that concept, and they just made it so clear. And part of that comes with, there's people that are going to be like, I hate that person. That person said something that really upset me, and I'm so upset with them. And that's okay. To change the world, to live our life, everyone who's living their life purpose is literally changing and transforming the world for the better. To do that, we have to be willing to take all of it. Coming here to change the world also means healing the world, and we can't heal the world by being afraid to be fully us. So if you were called to this video, it is for a reason. There is something that you are being called to do, and it's safe to trust that. And it's safe to trust that it will become as big as bigger even than you can possibly imagine. So if you are interested in going deeper energetically with connecting with your life purpose, I'm going to put the link below for Soul Mission Activation Sequence, which is a series of 4 energy activations to assist you in energetically calibrating to your life purpose. And also, if you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my daily videos. Bye.